County commissioners are closely watching the legislature for Governor Jim Pillen's special session on property taxes. It could impact their budget and juvenile justice.
Our Bella Caracta has our continuing coverage on the status of the new empty youth center downtown.
Officials released the latest detention numbers for the Douglas County Youth Center.
We've been anywhere from the mid-70s to the mid-90s in recent history these last few months.
The average population for the last 6 months is about 90 youths. Remember, a new youth center opened downtown with 64 beds. The hope was to see the detention numbers averaging the low 50s.
A full transition to the new facility obviously would not be possible due to the numbers we're at right now.
This facility still sits vacant. The Douglas County Commissioners passed a resolution last year to look into using both the current and new facility for juvenile justice. But that conversation is on hold.
We are looking at what the legislature might do to county level funding and local funding in general. Because depending on that and depending on the restrictions on our local funding moving forward, that may inhibit some of the things that we can do here at the local level, such as launching a second facility in the near future, which would definitely cost a fair amount of money to do so.
Governor Jim Pillen's goal is to reduce property taxes, which the county commissioner's budget relies heavily on.
Cautiously waiting to see what happens at the legislature in the near future before making any big moves.
Garcia says they may seek out other partnerships to make using this new facility economical. On your side in Omaha, Bella Caracta, 6 News.
The average for the last month at the Douglas County Youth Center was 84 young people. On July 1st, there were 92.